Well, hello, Duncan. It's great to meet you. And I got to say, what a great film this was.
Thank you.
Had a
You liked
blast.
it?
Yeah, I did actually. I mean, you had me with your leads, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what to expect from it. So I needed to
Yeah.
ask you, what drew you to Neighborhood Watch? Was there a specific moment or theme in the script that said, I have to direct this?
The script by Sean Farley was just like very solid, and kept me engaged through his like expert pacing and doling out information. I connected with the characters. And I'm a sucker for movies about odd couples. Sideways came out 2004. That was like one of my favorite movies when that came out. It gets to me. Paper Moon, I don't know if you've seen that from the 70s. It's a Bogdanovich movie about like a con man and a young girl. And just something about that dynamic of two characters who are at odds with each other, and they go through an experience, and in the end it's like it's this earned emotional payoff. I wanted to do something like that.
I mean, you pulled it off for sure. Yeah, Odd Couple. That's a lot of fun, especially with Simon and Ed. And you mentioned Sideways, so I can kind of see why you've been drawn to this as well. Was there anything specific you asked Jack Quaid or Jeffrey Dean Morgan to bring to the roles to make that Odd Couple dynamic pop even further?
Well, I trust those guys because they're so good, and I think my job as director primarily is to cast the film well and then get out of the way. And most of my notes I would hope to be like louder, quieter, faster, slower. But it was a process of fine tuning as we got into it. And because you got sensitive topics, you got mental illness, and really how we kind of like got into it was just an intuitive process, kind of figuring it out over the first few days. And I think it really started to click when Simon started and Jack started like having fun, like kind of pushing back, right? Because he's the vulnerable one and he's sort of like the unstable one, and Ed, Jeffrey Dean, he's more of like the blunt, non PC one. But then as they go along, it sort of evens out a little bit, and Simon is able to like poke fun at him. And I think given Simon that ability to make fun of Ed and of himself a little bit, that was kind of key in opening up that relationship.
Yeah, I like them two together, and they learn from each other at the same time. It seems like they're learning from each other from two different worlds they're from. I do want to, Jeffrey D. Morgan, excellent, but I got to talk about Jack Quaid. He's been around a while, but I still think he's new to a lot of people, and he's been doing a lot of great projects the last few years. And I'm excited for people to see him in this. He is so darn good. So did he really surprise you on set? Because I mean, he's still young and he's got a lot more to go, but he's been killing it since day one, I feel like.
Yeah, working with him was great because he will give you a bunch of different options, and he likes doing lots of takes, and he likes exploring with every take a slightly different nuance to the performance, and that's a great way to figure it out for me. And he's just super receptive to feedback, and this was a tough role because I mean you got to really make yourself vulnerable, and if it doesn't work, it really doesn't work. So I appreciate him having trust in me, and just the opportunity to work with him. I agree with you. He's incredibly talented. I think he's got a ton of range and a lot left to show us.
That's absolutely true. Everything he does, like he sells it so easily. All these characters, I'm just like so believable. He just does such a great job. Were there any scenes in this movie that changed dramatically, like once you started shooting from the script, or something that worked way better than you expected?
Yeah, the eye contact scene which was something that we shot on day one, I had originally cut that out of the movie, and for pacing reasons, because I felt like there was a section of the movie that when I was watching it, it kind of slowed down, and it was just like not enough plot. There was too much character stuff. And then the original producer, Chris Ballant, who sent me the script, and Sean Farley, the writer, they were like, no, we like that scene. Let's see it in there. I put it back in, and then I had a test screening for friends and family, and that scene killed, and that whole section killed. And I realized that's what this movie is. It's about these two guys hanging out. That's why I wanted to make the movie. And I just need to have faith in myself and the audience that that's what's going to work. Like, just the vibe, the hanging out. Like, it is a little bit of a hangout movie. That's what I wanted to do. The dialogue's so great. So that happened with that. And then there was a scene at the beginning of the movie when Simon's doing the job interview. And as scripted, that was a much more extended sequence of him having a hallucination about a spider crawling up his shirt and going into his nose. And then he throws his phone and it breaks, and that's why it's broken later. And it was just too much. It was too much. I wish I had known that before we shot it, because there was like no room to spare on our schedule. But yeah, that got cut.
No, that's some great insights right there. And yeah, the plot is great, but just seeing everything with Jack and Jeffrey, really make the film. Like, that's what you're there for, is watching them and seeing what's going to happen. Like, are they able to pull this off? Are they going to work well together? I love the look of this film. I want to know what kind of visual tones you were going for, and were there any film or filmmakers that inspired this, aesthetic?
I'm a big fan of Alexander Payne. Sideways, Election, About Schmidt, and I love the sort of like middle American normal of it all. I like that kind of setting for thrilling stories. I think there was another movie, The Kid Detective, that did it very well. So that kind of vibe of like flyover country normal. And then I was working with Luke McCubry, who shot Clovehitch, my last movie, and we wanted to just kind of be somewhat straightforward with the normal stuff, with the regular scenes. Just kind of like, I call it a solid approach. It's like not too flashy, so it's not too distracting from what's really important here, which is what's going on with the characters. But then when Simon is having an episode, it goes more subjective, and it goes wide angle. It gets really close to Jack. And those are the two primary modes stylistically. And then the lighting wise, just very naturalistic. It feels like it's motivated from windows. And we did look at some stuff by Robbie Mueller, who shot Paris, Texas, and he had a great use of green. We called it Robbie Mueller green, and that influenced a couple spots where you do see some green, like in Ed's house when in the middle of the movie. Don't want to give too much away, but that's where the green comes from. And I don't know what, I just liked it. I do like color. And I think there was, I think I'm going to move further in that direction as I go. I really, the Midnight Run and a lot of the movies, like Something Wild, like the movies that were inspirations for this, they're very colorful, especially Something Wild. And I'm into that.
It looked great. Like, you pulled it off. I love the visual tone of this film and how it looked like watching it. I got to ask, I don't want to give anything away, but if this Neighborhood Watch could maybe have a spinoff or a limited series, where would you want to take these characters possibly next? Because
it would be so great for them to have like an episodic thing where they're solving a mystery, or maybe a mystery that goes over the course. I would love to do that, dude. I think that would be super fun, because Ed and Simon have more than like 93 minutes of material in them for sure.
That is true. That I want to see them back together if it's possible. We have to see how this movie ends. Obviously, how when everyone watches it. And lastly, I want to ask if you could pick two actors to be your very own neighborhood watch partners, who would you pick and why?
My own neighborhood watch partners.
Yeah.
I would go with Alan Cumming and Carrie Coon because they just seem like super fun to hang out with. Yeah. And mostly just for the vibe. It'd be fun to hang with them.
I like that vibe. I'm actually a big fan of them too. And they're great all around. And Neighborhood Watch, man, Duncan, this is fantastic. And I hope we don't have to wait so much longer for your next film. Are you working on anything already that you can tease?
Yeah, I got a script that I collaborated with Sean Farley on, the writer of Neighborhood Watch. It's called Hauntville. It is a PG-13-ish Halloween thing. I mean, Halloween's my favorite holiday. And I thought, like, what if there was a character who's like Clark Griswold in National Lampoon in Christmas Vacation, but if for Halloween, like it's the most wonderful time of the year. Every year he turns his house into a haunted attraction for the neighborhood kids. This year, his wife and his daughter are like, we can't do it anymore. Sorry, Dad. He's devastated and he's got to find another location. And then he finds an abandoned house on the edge of town, right? And as he's scoping it out, he realized I can't give it away. I can't give it away.
Yeah.
It's too good.
I know.
It's too good.
Man, you got me with the Griswolds and Halloween.
Yeah.
Like I love all those movies and I love Halloween. So Duncan, that movie's right up my alley. We got to definitely talk about it when it comes out. So you already got me excited already.
Put it out in the universe. And then I got another one that's like another serial killer mystery. But I am with you. I do not want to take so long for my next movie. I'm ready to go, Sean.
I love it. I love hearing that. We're all ready to go. Duncan, it was a real pleasure. And yeah, Neighborhood Watch, definitely a must watch. We'll say that right there with some great leads in there. So thank you so much, Duncan.
Thank you, Sean.